Okay, good afternoon and good evening, all attendees. I am really very happy to present this for the young engineers. And I heard from Subbu there are some faculties also being attend. They are also attending this course. So it's great. All of you, I am welcoming you to this presentation. So I hope you will enjoy my presentation. And the presentation contents will be like this actually. So first, if you, I will do the presentation for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then later on we will continue with your question and answer session. Okay, this is one of its unique kind of presentation, and really it is needed for the student community. So MSubbu is planning to do such training sessions and down the line from not only me, from other industrial experts also. Okay, let me introduce. My name is Thirumalai Duraisamy. So basically, I'm the BTech Chemical Engineering graduate from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, and I had additional qualifications such as a diploma in industrial safety from Annamalai University, diploma in training from this training institute, and also the postgraduate diploma in business administration and certified energy manager from the NPC, National Productivity Council. Also, the certified HAZOP leader. I have participated and also conducted many HAZOP for this industrial revamps and for the greenfield and brownfield projects as a part of HAZOP secretary and also attendee and also leader. So, in addition, I was the zone trainer in zone 18, that is the Tuticorin area, when I was there in SPIC Tuticorin. And I have conducted various soft skills training for the school students, college students, and also the industrial workers. So overall, I have around 30 plus years of professional working experience in various petrochemicals, oil and gas companies. Geographically, you can say Middle East as well as in Asia Pacific, Singapore. So these are all the areas wherein I have served. So during which I have actually guided many young engineers, mentored many engineers for their professional excellence. So I hope you will enjoy this session and keep your questions ready at the end. I will try my best to answer your questions at the end. Coming to the skill set types, actually, and this you can see in the screen. There are three different skill sets I have identified. One is that core skills, another is other add-on skills, and then the soft skills. Core skills is the one in which you are being educated or you're being tested in the colleges. Basically, you have the 3.5 years, 3 to 3.5 years of chemical engineering degree, in which you will be tested in all the core chemical engineering subjects, and you will be tested will be means of various comprehensive tests or midterm tests or mid semester tests like that, and then you will be awarded the grades actually. So additional skills are like the one which is partly related to the subjects but not exactly taught in that colleges. Basically, that for that you need to explore more in the industry or in that or internet or the experienced persons, and then you can find the ways and means of adding the skills, so that these skills will help you to get employability or employable in the market. Really, soft skills also very important, because when there is a tie happening, the tie in the course, as our core subjects, if there are two persons are being getting scored in the same percentile or percentage, so then they will look for the correct attitude or aptitude person, where they will who will be best suit for the job. That is more important for the companies also, so that they will be looking in. So we'll move on to the next slide. So basically, this one more time. I don't. We'll go. Basically, I wanted to communicate this skill set types depends upon the type of industries. Basically, you can say classify the chemical industries into majorly like oil and gas companies. It can be upstream, And then downstream is the chemical and petrochemical companies. And then you can see the advanced research institutes, those kind of things. So basically, these skill set types maybe percentage wise a little bit vary depending upon the industry wherein you are going to get selected or wherein you are going to work in the down the line. So that is my point. Anyway, I will reiterate in the end also. So, hope most of you might have or there in the third year or in the final year engineering, chemical engineering, and also few might be of completed chemical engineers, with young and energetic, and are working in various production or the engineering companies. So basically, you might have covered these kind of all these core chemical engineering subjects during your 3 to 3.5 years of chemical engineering studies. But the reason for this session's initiation is needed the applied orientation, industrial orientation. What they are looking for, what kind of interrelation you will be having with these subjects in the real working environment. That is more important. So, for example, I will just to go through the each subject contents, and I will just highlight what are all the things you may be using in the down the line in your work environment. Because this is the important slide, I want to spend a little bit more time on this. So, if you take the fluid mechanics, you might have heard about all these formulas, fluid, what are types of fluids, and all this friction factor, etc., and all. But basically, if you start with the industries, no, production industries means already the production industry is built and then it is being running. Whereas in the EPC environment, you will be designing a plant where it is going to produce either oil or the petrochemical. Okay. So fluid mechanics covers this theoretical part covered in that industry. But practical part is like in real industrial world, we will be facing the problem of whether this particular line is capable of transferring this much fluid or not. So if this kind of problem happen, what is the available solutions? So those kind of industrial orientation is very much important. Other than that, if you see the fluid means it covers both gas as well as the liquid, right? So you have the pumps and also this compressors. So this kind of equipment selections very important for the chemical engineers. In fact, along with the mechanical engineers, it is being done. All the chemical properties and all you will be feeding, especially the capacity and head. It is the chemical engineers who is going to fill in for the data sheets, and then further the materials and the mechanical will design the seals, etc., and then finally it will go to the market to get that pump or compressor before going to install in that real field. So this is one of the examples I'm mentioning in the fluid mechanics. Same way for the heat transfer. You might have heard about all the convection, conduction, radiation, all these kind of heat transfer mechanisms. But at the same time, what are all the conservatory measures? How you can save the energy? That is more important for the today's industrial world. So, if you can do the particular job with lesser heat or lesser energy, that is more value addition. So, those kind of advances you need to look in, and how effectively you can do the heat transfer. That is very important. Next comes to the mass transfer. Mass transfer, you will be designing this distillation column or absorption column, whatever may be. So you might have having a high level idea about what is these equipments are being doing. So when you are in EPC, getting into the EPC companies, you have to design these equipments. Whereas when you are into the production department, you need to do the troubleshooting of those equipments. Why this is underperforming? How I can improve the performance of that distillation column or absorption column? Okay, you will be doing the calculations based on the stoichiometric laws, and then just based on the formulas, you will be matching everything. But this really, when there is coming to the industry, for example, you will be working in a particular technical services department of the production industry. So you have to do monitoring of that catalyst vessels or the boiler or the whole unit. Spec, they call in short, the spec means specific energy consumption. not only the inputs to the input material to the industry and also the energy and utilities. So those calculations, you will be doing this in the energy studies and also these calculations, and you need to optimize. I will cover those in the subsequent slides. So thermodynamics. Coming to the thermodynamics, one of the dry subject, you may be feeling in that many of the people will go for the only repetitive questions and appear in the examination pass. But really, when you are coming to the industry, so especially in the EPC industries, you may have to select which type of thermodynamic rule we have to apply for the fluid. Okay. For example, if steam means you have to take from the steam table, etc. Whereas for the chemicals, the all the advanced tools they have the separate tools like Penn Robinson or the SRK tools. So whichever is applicable to which, that kind of high level understanding is needed for the industrial orientation. Coming to the material science, maybe few colleges may skip this material science, but this is also very important for the chemical engineering world. Why? Because not only the metallurgist, chemical engineer also giving the important input to the metallurgist, like this material needs to withstand up to what temperature, up to what pressure, because these two are very, very critical. And what are all the impurities, what are all the corrosiveness. So those things they will be we need to specify for that any equipment selection or any pipeline selection or anything where you are going to buy for the chemical industry. The material science is very, very important. So that is also you need to have a good understanding of the material science. Then chemical process technologies. So coming to the chemical process technologies, you may be gone through both organic and inorganic chemical technology. Maybe if now you are not using wholly all the technologies, you will be using only few technologies. For example, if you are going to join in a UOP or halter top, so they are the process licenses. So they will be having a separate different technologies. They keep on research also, and they do different pattern for the additional technologies. So those technologies, high level knowledge not only is very important, and also what is happening in the modern technologies. So that you can come to know only by means of attending the various seminars organized or the exhibitions by the companies. Next comes to the process control and instrumentation. Process control and instrumentation, you may feel that it's a little bit of dry and not more so conducive to accustom with. But really, it is very, very interesting. And if you have the keen interest, you can develop a lot. Like you might have studied what is the batch process control, continuous process control. So it's really interesting. You should have a tie-up or the understanding with the instrumentation guys, so that you can easily understand what is the PID control, proportional integral derivative control, what it is doing. So these kind of basic fundamentals are very, very important, and it is being applied in that industries, especially EPC industries. You have to give the process control parameters. Up to what range your control valves needs to be sized. Up to what range your flow meters has to be sized. So those kind of information you need to give for the instrumentation department by the means of process data sheets, and then they will develop further and get it from the market. Then you may have to give the comments also later on. Next, coming to the equipment design, maybe high level equipment design you might have studied during this basic engineering degree. So in real life, you may have to support the process licenses. Process licenses will design only the core equipments, but utilities part they normally won't design. All the utilities like the cooling water system, steam system, instrument air, nitrogen system. So all these things you have to design, and you have to supply along with the whole package to the end user or the companies. So this is the process engineer's responsibility. Coming to the plant economics, once you are into the EPC business or EPC companies, you are having an estimation. You have to have it is not an immediate job, but in the down the line, you may have to do the evaluation, meaning to say how I can optimize our OPEC and CapEx. You may be aware about what is OPEX and CAPEX, operating expenses and capital expenses. So operating expenses can be effectively minimized by proper selection of the material and proper selection of that equipment design. Whereas the OPEX, operating expenses, can be minimized or optimized based on your experience, what you are arriving from the plant. For example, in a running plant, if the pressure on the turbine of the steam inlet, if it is of 45 bar, instead of 45 bar, 43 bar only it is coming, then this automatically the efficiency of the heat recovery will get coming down, and you will be losing that energy. You will not get the proper output. You have to spend a lot. So this kind of closer understanding is very, very important, and how to resolve that will come by experience actually. So if you start working in a particular process plant, then you will automatically come to know. Next is the process safety. You will be having a very broad idea about what is process safety. So basically, safety is not only by first thing is it is for the process humans. Okay, HSC, human safety is very, very important. Then environment, and then finally only the equipment or the capital cost. So for that, what are all the tools? Now we have all the projects, new projects. It needs to go through several steps, like the HAZAP, and then IPF review, and so many reviews will be there. Then only it will be allowed to implement, especially in the Europe countries as well as in the Middle East. They are very, very stringent, very, very, very strict on that HIP study. Without that, they want to do the any implementation. So the process safety studies is also very important. And if you people, some of the people are very interested, are keen in doing that alone as a field, then there is a lot of scope in all the EPC industry, not only EPC industry and also this production industries. Next is the environmental engineering. Environmental engineering, you might have theoretically studied what are all the pollutants, how to mitigate, and what are all the things. But my point I wanted to convey here is actually what are all the advances happening in the environmental engineering that you should aware by attending these conferences and seeing the latest developments in that field. And also, yes, some part of that regulations also you need to know, like pollution control board is limiting this kind of pollutants at what limit. So pollution control board keep on, they may be revising, but what is the limits of the liquid effluent or gaseous effluent or solid effluent? So those things, if you have a broad idea, it will be helpful really in future when you are really starting the work environment. Hope I have covered to the extent, and then we will move on to the add-on skills. So as I told, this add-on skills is not really you are going through in the college, but a bit will be there. Like some colleges might be having this husband tools, and then little bit on hands-on. HTR is the tool for the heat exchanger sizing, and FlareNet is the tools for the flare header sizing. And Aspen ISIS and the Pro 2 are the widely used. Pro 2 is widely used in the petrochemical industries. Aspen ISIS is mainly used in oil and gas. Okay, the flare sim is the flare simulator, especially for the dispersion studies, etc., etc. So this, if you have opportunity to, it will be add-ons to learn. So please, if you have the opportunity to learn, and you have to spend extra time to learn, and then definitely it will be helpful for your future. Then you have to attend wherever the opportunities arises, you have to utilize like additional courses, seminars, membership, and certification. This is one of the kind actually. So subsequently, it will be different industry experts will come and explain you about this various skill set needed and how you can sharpen those things. Then comes to the energy optimization. So you might be aware about some word called pinch technology. So how, and also there are some advanced process control tools also available. So that they are claiming that by minimizing the variation in the set point, you can save even up to 5% of your total energy consumption. For example, refineries and all very big energy consumers. So even 5% will helpful to light maybe one town whole energy. So that kind of big energy losses will be there. So many oil and gas as well as EPC company, this one Middle East companies, they are very much into the sustainability initiatives. Basically, the zero pollution, meaning to say zero flaring. They don't want to flare anything. So if there is a calorific value and you can able to recover those, so it has to be recovered and it will be used for the fruitful purpose, either in-house or it will be exported to that downstream product or downstream uses. Then next is the equipment operations. They call it as operation, basically. Equipment operation, how the equipment is being operated. You might have gone through the laboratories, fluid mechanics and heat transfer laboratory, and then you might have taken the readings and all. So the similar way, the industry will be having a very big equipment. You might be astonished to see the 5,000 tons per day of methanol plant. It will be really worth watching. And if you are working in such a big plant, Sabik is having on such a big plant in Saudi Arabia. So you will be like privileged to see how your education is being utilized effectively, and you are contributing to the world. So you will have a very good self satisfaction. So else equipment operation, you need to have a high level understanding and what can go wrong and why the equipment is underperforming, why it cannot be loaded further, or why it is some failure is happening. So those things and all, it will come by experience, but you should know at least what is equipment operations. Coming to the troubleshooting and debottlenecking, this word itself I came to know only after I graduated and I gone to the training. Speak is one of the very good in training. So they teach almost extended college kind of a thing. So almost 3 to 6 months they will keep that in the separate training center, and then they will put you in the particular plant, and then they will do the cross training and all. So basically, the troubleshooting debottlenecking is the word used for finding out the problems in that particular equipment and how to resolve. It can be a particular equipment or for the whole plant itself. So by that doing that, in fact, they did a lot of modifications and they did very big achievements like original plant design capacity is like only 1,100 urea plant. Now they are producing more than 2,000. You see how they can do that. But small modification, wherever the bottleneck they find, they will change that equipment and they will add some additional exchanges. So those things, size increase. So those things they will do, and they keep on improving, and then finally they could able to achieve the older plant this much big capacity. Then product and engineering quality awareness. Few of you might aware about this Six Sigma tools and etc. etc. But basically, the very important thing is to maintain the quality, not only one time, every time. That is very important. Otherwise, you will not be in the market, and it is very difficult to sell your product. So every time you have to produce the quality product, and you have to be, then only your market share will be maintained. So that is very important. That is throughout when you are working, it is very important. It is not only applicable for the product, and also whatever you are work doing, that is also very important. For example, I am asking you to do the process data sheet for a particular flow meter or particular control valve. You have to do in all respects and fulfill to the fullest requirement, and you should know the basis behind that. So then only you can convince me that I have done from this and then done like that, like that. So basically, quality should be there in every part of your work, and that is very important. Then comes to modern trends, advances. So for that only, you need to attend the seminars and what is happening by the process licenses and many companies. They will be coming to your colleges also, or in the open places. They will be keeping these seminars and exhibitions. That when there is an opportunity, don't miss it. Please go and attend. You will definitely enhance your skills. Finally comes to the soft skills. Even though I told it is only 25% of your total skills requirement, but this is also very important when there is a tie happening. First thing is that aptitude. There is many companies now they are testing this logical, creative, critical thinking. whether this person is able to think, thinking the end in mind, beginning itself. So that is very important. Aptitudes, and then attitude is very important. Nowadays, you can see the youngsters. I'm not blaming, but they are very short-sighted or short-minded, and they are not willing to go beyond what next, like that. So they are limiting themselves to learn that is only needed and fulfilling. So that should not be the case actually. If you see, if you are working in a particular project, you should try to understand if you may be only producing data sheets, or you may be doing only calculations, or you may be only doing this the philosophies, etc. But you have to know the beginning to end. That is very important. Then only you can grow, and you can contribute further in your career in the down the line. Next is the productivity and optimization. This little bit touched on the previously also, like spec optimization, energy optimization, power optimization, whatever may be. So not only this is a not new concept. Since from the day one the industry started, when the chemistry is converted into chemical engineering, this word is there. But now it is very important, and the separate department itself being coined by the Reliance, kind of a very big industry. Because as I told you in the beginning, even small 5% energy saving will be a very huge cost savings. So that is very notable things. So have an idea about how they are doing, what are the mitigation methods, like that. Then communication is very important. Don't expect that other people, suppose if you are working in an environment, other people will come and ask you whether you did it or not. So it is your responsibility to communicate back with any hiccups, any problems you are facing. So communication is very important. Otherwise, very difficult to grow in the industry. Survive in the industry itself very difficult. So communication in two part is very important. Not only from your boss to you, you to your boss, and the team leader, etc., etc. Teamwork and decision making. So it is very essential quality. Otherwise, you cannot mingle with the team and decide with the short available time. You should be assertive enough to tell that you can do only this much work with this time and all. So irrespective of your status, or you may be the junior or first level or engineer, but you are having the right to say what you are feeling. Then they will come and tell, okay, I also really understand. Then share the load with some X or Y, like that. Or they will reduce the load and they will take up with some other guys, like that. So decision making is on your hands, and you should understand the work and then do. Meeting the targets is very important. Otherwise, very difficult to survive. Meeting the targets means beyond it is better, but meeting the targets is a must for all the projects or all the work, especially production companies. They will have the production meeting every day. Every day they will have the meeting. They will ask, GM will hold the meeting, and they will ask the manager of the particular plant why the energy is increased, why this production is low. If there is no real valid reasons, then they will get a big bombard actually. So then there will be follow-up actions, and then they will mitigate and come back on that track. So perseverance is also very important quality. Otherwise, especially in the EPC environment, you may be producing so much of process flow diagrams, P&IDs, and so many deliverables. And the client will review. On client side, so many departments will be there. Like the technical services will be there, projects will be there. And there are sometimes they will give it to the third party also, and they will review. So those comments will come to you one by one, not at one go. So these kind of things, you should have a very high patience to update all these comments in amicably, and then only you can resolve the comments, and then it will be, you can get a good. But you can say at the same time, it is really annoying or thing. You can very well express your opinions. So your bosses will be always there to support you. Finally, the value addition. Value addition means how to improve the like the quality I told you. So particular task is being given to you, how you can do the value addition, whether something else is also needed, that also you have to do. So that kind of value addition is very important. And if you are sharpening all these skills, definitely it will be what great feature will be there. And you have to keep on practicing. That is more important. Not only one day, you have to do every day. So to summarize, so skill set requirements is varied based on the type of the industry. I told you the different types of industries like oil and gas. It can be either on stream or off stream, onstream or upstream. Downstream industry means starting from the refineries, petrochemicals, and then there is one more called API, active pharmaceutical ingredients. API, you might have heard about the word. That is the pharma industry. So those things, and then there are some industry only do the consulting and service. So if you are interested in data, you can join there also actually. Apart from that, subject core knowledge, industrial application is very important. So whenever you are studying, what kind of industrial orientation is needed, that you please take care. Whatever, only I cannot explain short time lot of detail, but it is good enough to have a kindling for your brain, and then you can work on. So additional skills and soft skills plays a vital role in designing right candidates for the job requirement. This also I have mentioned. So thank you for attendees for this session, and I really enjoyed it and sharing my views. So now we will take up the questions one by one. Okay, one question I saw that what are the process safety related things. So okay, basically Annamalai University is conducting a separate diploma in industrial safety. This is actually the part-time program only. So you can try that. And also in open sources, there are a lot of materials available. At least for, if not, you are. I hope if you are completed, you can go that. If you are not ready to go that, at least you can search the open search material, and a lot of National Productivity Council, they are conducting a lot of safety trainings also. So if you go to their website, you will find some of the safety courses, and you can you can select based on your need, and then you can attend based on your thing. Any other questions coming?
Yeah, there is one question about this possibility of MTech students getting placed over BTech.
Actually, industrial in industry, there is real requirement for the MTech. That is what I would say. But still, some companies like those who are having some research-oriented projects, definitely they will look for the MTech students. By and large, they will look for only the BTech graduates. That is good enough for them. And in fact, I can say, based on my experience, some of the students who worked after BTech in 1 or 2 years in that EPC companies, then they go for the MTech. Really, that will be a more value addition for them actually.
Yeah, people can unmute yourself. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that MTech don't want. MTech also needed, but not mandatory.
They say like either in process or industry. Okay, everything is related, right?
Either in industry or process field. Actually, the process industry, what I mean is production. I told you, the production is like the refineries is one of the production industry. Okay, they will produce the refinery products. Petrochemical is one of the production industry. They will produce a lot of petrochemicals, starting from ethanol, methanol, and all other derivatives, polyethylenes, etc., etc. Okay, so there is no right or wrong. Wherever you wanted, if you are having interest to whatever you learn, apply. That is very important. So process engineering EPC, if you are interested, then you can go for the EPC. Or majority of the people, they are working in that production industries only. Safety is a small field, but it is needed both for the production industry and well as EPC.
There is one more question, right?
What are the key tips would you suggest to successfully get into? Key tips in the sense is to get through look for the opportunity and get through the interview. That is very important. Skill set, I have already broadly covered. So you have to sharpen the skills.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, I'm a final year student. So, to be specific, if I want to get into a design industry, so what are the basic, to what extent will they expect us to know, sir, in the design aspect?
Basically, it is like no need for any deep understanding. At least a broad understanding of if you are given a small line sizing, line. For example, line means you will be having the friction factor and all. So what are all the factors you consider for deciding a line size? Those kind of things only. Basically, they will train everything. They have their own spreadsheets, software tools, everything. Only
Okay.
thing you should have the keen attitude to learn and apply.
Okay,
Learn and
sir.
apply. That is very important. You have the curiosity to learn and apply. That is very important. Other than your academic skills, that is very, very important.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, you told us to learn Aspen HYSYS and Pro to that those softwares and all, just to explore those software. What are the sources wherein we can learn those?
In fact, those licensing companies, Aspen Tech website, if you are going, they may be giving a free training and also free presentations
These are available currently
available.
as a part of curriculum.
Okay. Additionally, you wanted to sharpen more means there are institutes. There are institutes which they are maybe in a week time or 2 weeks time or 1 month time. You can little bit more enhance your skills on those. There are the institutes available. Many institute startups are there now. So that was run by even one of the institutes run by my ex-colleague. So they teach actually the ISIS to some basic level. That is enough actually. Then if you want some more advancement, that you can learn after you placed into the industry.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There is a question.
STP and ETPs. It is what is your question is like how to get into the environmental industry, right? Okay, environmental industry, nobody will come. I am telling you jokingly, actually, nobody will come to you and offer you a job. You have to find actually, meaning to say, if you are keen on entering into the environmental job, you have to filter out what are all the industries they are doing wastewater management. Okay, not only wastewater management, there are solid treatment management. So many things are there. So in wastewater management itself, a lot of things are there. So you have to approach those companies, and definitely for sure they will be ready to take up. Your question is that did I understand correctly? Do I need to recollect before joining? Means you have to be thorough on your subjects. That's it. You have a keen interest to apply your subject knowledge. That is enough.
I think he got placed and he's about to join.
Okay. Violia
Yeah.
is a good company, water treatment company. They are having a lot of projects. Government is also running a lot of projects.
Yeah,
Water treatment is a very good
I
business.
think the
Actually.
question is he already got placed in that companies, and to do good in that job, what kind of subject he has to learn further?
No, this is only the procedures actually. ETP or the standard procedures, testing procedure like that. So these things will come from actually partially from the licensors. You have to just a little bit expand it, STPs and ETPs. Sewage treatment plant and the effluent treatment plant, I think. It is not unique. It depends upon this effluent category and effluent types, etc., etc.
Yeah, say there is one question in my mind, okay, which is in the recently every college they are encouraging the students to do research. Is research is so needed for getting into place at least at the undergraduate level?
Definitely no. Actually, research is one segment actually. So very few people can only go to that one because IIT is running MSc chemistry. So many MSc students, they are transferring their knowledge into that PhD level. But engineering, what is the difference between the engineering and the chemistry? Chemistry is, the formulas, everything, how it is being reacted, and it is on the paper level. Whereas when you come to engineering, this in chemistry is transferred into the big pictures. Like I told, 5,000 tons per day methanol plant. If you see that pictures, it will be amazing. So whatever you learned, that is being already designed and implemented, and they are running the plant and they are producing. So those kind of what you can say, that is important. But UG level, definitely for sure. Those who are really interested, they can continue for the research. For PG, I agree. But UG level, research is very meager. Emerging technologies. Okay, good question. Emerging technologies, like already it is old technology, pinch technology. Now a lot of software tools, they are utilizing this optimization techniques, advanced process control techniques. Those are the tools. Now the digital twin, the simulation tools, what I have told, that is operator simulation tools, OTS, they are telling. For that, actually, what they will do, Reliance, those kind of companies, they will build a digital twin, means one is in the digital, other is in the real form. So instead of real experiment in the field, they will do everything in the digital. So it will tell you, suppose if you are increasing the combustion in the reactor furnace by 10%, what is the effluent level? So those things by simulation itself you will come to know. More or less in practical also it will be almost the same. Maybe plus or minus 2 to 3%, or at the worst case 5% will be there. So those kind of simulations are now catching up in all the operating plants. So OTS, and also now artificial intelligence and data science are picking up. So those, if it is being of somewhat of useful to the chemical engineering, it will be grateful. Like it is automatically catches the data from the plant. That is also already there. Many Yokogawa like that plants, like companies, they are already developed, but that is being now keep on improving. So those kind of things, if you have the fair idea, that is good enough.
How about is there any companies giving that training?
This engineers level, they won't separate separately. They will give to the training to the industries only.
Industry.
Once you are placed in industry, they will come to the place and then they will train up.
But many are looking for employability. Whether if I know that skills, students will be, they will be easily getting employed, right? But before getting employment, they cannot get training.
They cannot get the training. They cannot get the training. Because that will be set up will be very costly and they cannot afford individual students. But this high level Aspen Tech and simulation thing, that is enough. Plus this kind of startup company, they are giving additional trainings on that simulation tools. That is also will be good enough. Main thing I wanted to communicate is your interest. You should develop your keen interest. You want to go to the EPC field or production field or in the safety field. That is on your attitude and your interest.
Interest to learn at any time.
Sir, could you give more insights on EPC company? How does it work?
Yeah.
EPC companies are different scale actually. Oil and gas companies work differently. EPC for the petrochemical company work differently. For example, there will be subsequent sessions planned in the down the line, but anyhow, I will give you a broad idea. EPC company means any project will run for minimum, engineering phase itself will run for minimum 18 to 24 months, depending upon the size of the project. For example, different wellhead platforms, they will do first the feasibility and then feed. Feed means front-end engineering design, and then finally come to the EPC. EPC means engineering, procurement, and construction. Some companies will do the commissioning also, commissioning assistance also. So this engineering phase itself will complete almost 2 to 2.5 years engineering, and then procurement comes and construction comes. So all together, it will be around 3 to 4 years, depending upon the size of the thing. So how they operate means they will keep the manpower and then they will keep on getting the jobs. So definitely for sure, young chemical engineers, no worry. Lot of projects, they keep on coming. The oil and gas and flooded with jobs. Don't worry about the jobs.
Yeah, in the recent time, a lot of girl students are studying. Whereas during our time,
Girl students
Ah.
most wanted in EPC sector.
EPC. Oh. So that's a good sign for the girls. Yeah, even I am seeing a lot of girl students also getting placed in core production job also.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah,
In
ah,
Speak also, they are now
ah,
working.
ah.
Reliance also, I see the
ah,
chief
ah,
in charges and
ah.
okay.
So the industry is encouraging or
Yeah, good to change. Good to see the change actually.
Ah.
It is encouraging. There is no like a man job or woman job. So
Ah.
basically, so since you have the skill set, you are contributing. That's it. Seminars and
Sir,
certifications to be done by petroleum engineers. Okay, you can search through the Dehradun. There is a petroleum institute, and then you can search through the other open resources. They who can offer the certification courses. There will be n number of certification courses, like even for the mud engineers. That is more of mechanical oriented, and petrochemical optimization or something like that. Oh, they will be more specific. Inside the petroleum engineers, they will be more specific. Those kind of certifications you can do. You search in that Indian Institute of Petroleum Institute by Dehradun. No? Dehradun. You can find the courses.
Sir, good evening, sir. Myself,
Okay.
Jagadish. Actually, I have recently completed my chemical engineering, sir.
Yes.
My doubt is that, as sir told before, I have done a research project based on my mentor's encouragement. But
Okay.
I wanted to really join through EPC or a design company. On interview, they are asking, why have you done a research project? You have not having interest, like that questions are being raised. So how to overcome that questions? Or how can I satisfy them that I'm really being interested in the design core rather than a research? Because when I attend the interview, the first question is that why don't you go for PhD or like MTech? You will be going there. So how can you be able to be no, like
Correct. You can politely tell that I had the plans of pursuing further studies during that time. Now the plans has been changed. So I really interested to work. And if you given the opportunity, I will definitely prove. And my skills are applied like that. You have to tell. And you big companies may not get through initially, but small companies definitely will take you.
okay.
Don't worry about the size of the company. Wherever you are getting in, you have to learn something. And then once if you learned, then you are automatically grow. And then you definitely you will be taken by the bigger companies.
Okay, sir. Clear.
EPC business is very, very promising and keep on growing. And not only greenfield projects, brownfield projects, are a lot of things are coming up, not only in the Middle East and overall the globe. And sustainability project and so many projects are on the line. So it is like down the line, keep on coming. So never worry about the features.
yeah. It's okay. Sorry to interrupt you. Since you said about greenfield and brownfield project, can you please elaborate
Yeah,
that?
basically greenfield project and brownfield project difference is like greenfield means there is nothing there in the beginning. So greenfield means you have the only concept. I want some 2,500 tons per day of ammonia plant. That is only thinking. That's all. Then you have to select the technology licenses, like which technology you go, like topsoil technology or ICA technology, UOP technology. So you can select among the Johnson method technology. So many technology licenses will be there. You have to select, and then you have to ask them to provide me the plant. So when there is nothing, you have only concept, and that is being built. First engineered and then built and then startup done, commissioning done, startup done, then it is producing. That is called greenfield. Brownfield means already the plant is running. For example, big plants are there running more than 50 years. When I born, at the time the first liquid drop of ammonia came. So 50 years they are running. So in the existing plant itself, a lot of revamps happening. That is called brownfield. Some places they wanted to augment the capacity. So line size increase or equipment size increase is the solution. So those is called brownfield. I think somewhat you got
Yeah.
understanding.
Yes.
Any more questions, please?
Sir, what's the difference between pre-feed and feed?
Yeah, it's a good one. Actually, when there is not much data available, they wanted to reduce the feed time, basically, front-end engineering design time. They do pre-feed. Pre-feed time also, almost what are all the feed contents, deliverables, you will make in the pre-feed also. Only thing, you may miss something like you don't have the some inputs data. So you will keep it hold for some time to do it in the feed. That is the only. No need for pre-feed for all the projects. When there is a clarity or the inputs delay, you do the pre-feed, and then during the feed, everything you correct it. Okay. So I wanted to give you the broad understanding of what is feed and detailed design, detailed design, detailed engineering. Feed and pre-feed are concept. Those stage, the estimation will be very crude. You will not be involving, even in the feed time, we will not be involving the vendors. So you will not get the correct cost of the project estimation. Whereas feed time, we will involve the contract. Some feed time, they will involve the vendors. So we will get the real cost of the whole plant. So the percentage of accuracy for the whole plant, for example, if it is of 1 billion project, whole project, the accuracy level will be more refined in the subsequent stages. For example, pre-feed stage, it is plus or minus 40. Then feed level, it is 30. Then detailed design level, it should be like 10% only.
Yeah, maybe again you elaborate because since that guy is working and already in design
Mhm.
sort of companies, he know this terminology.
Hmm.
Whereas for the freshers, these are all the new terminology.
Okay,
So you
meaning
just
of feed and
yeah,
pre-feed.
yeah,
Okay, basically feed is front-end engineering design. DE means detailed engineering, and pre-feed means same like feed only. The pre only word they attach it. So basically feed, what they will do, they prepare. For example, if you have a wanted to build a plant, what are all the things needed, starting to end, what are all the equipments coming. They will design in a high level. Maybe the accuracy will not be that much feed. But in detailed design, it is good enough or accurate enough to go to the market and purchase it. You cannot play around during detailed design. You understand? So feed, you can have the margins little bit, say 20 to 30% margin. So refine further to get a more accurate design in the detailed design, and then go for the market and get it done. Okay.
Sir, in the feed stage itself, preparation of P and ID, all those work will be
Yes, yes.
completed.
Even concept study itself, high level PFD will be there. P and ID will be there in the pre-feed also, feed also, detailed design also. So same like that, ASAP is also being carried out in different stages. Pre-feed also, feed also, detailed design also. So all these ASAP recommendations you need to include in that design features, and then you have to prepare the design package, and that is going to the market, and the purchase department people will contact different vendors, and they will procure, and they will send it to directly to the fabrication yard, and in the fabrication yard or in the site, every equipment will be assembled, a pipeline will be connected, and then they will do the flushing and those pre-commissioning activities, and then with the real fluid they will start the production. This is the phase. I really encourage the young engineers to ask wider questions. I think really they are thinking amazing.
Yeah, okay. Since no one is asking, so what would be the nice career path for a professional chemical engineer?
Professional chemical engineer, actually, nowadays, no, many engineers they don't want to be continuously serve in the chemical engineers. But if you wanted to be continuously in the chemical engineering field, both you should have the flavor of production department and also technical service department and also this EPC companies. Like what I had the opportunity to work in the SPIC, and then I moved on to the Orly Parsons for the oil and gas jobs, that is doing the EPC for petroleum development, Oman. And then I moved to petrochemical engineering, Mitsubishi. And then finally I worked with McDermott. They are the oil and gas EPC company for the Aramco and Qatar project. So you need to have a mix of all this. Then you will develop an expertise of what is the demand by the companies, what is the demand by the consultant. Both you know. That is more important. If you are in the one side, you don't know other people's expectation. So if you are worked in the both the client company as well as the contracting company, you are the you know what is needed. But normally, the people who works in the client companies or production company, they are very much self-comfort and they don't want to move. Basically, they don't want to further learn. That is enough. Whatever they learn, enough. Like that, they will retirement. Throughout the retirement, they will continue in the production.
Even what I feel is, after about some 20-30 years of industrial experience, people from industry can do more to the teaching field.
Yeah, that
Not
is
only
also
do
true.
teaching, yeah.
That is also true. It depends upon their interest and their interest as well as their energy to contribute.
Because the confidence, whatever you have, is not available to the faculty.
Few faculties nowadays, they are coming from industrial background also. I think.
Industrial background, but not very rare.
Much.
Even not only to start with industry consultancy, even you should, professional path should be, they should go to politics as well. So then only you can decide about the nation's growth.
Correct.
Mm.